My dreams are always nightmares. That was a wild horse that time, and now it's been tame. You don't do work like whether you deserve something or you don't deserve something. You do your work only for yourself.
Tullodo Idamai was released in 2002, which makes this your 15th year in the industry. Were you aware of it? Did somebody remind you about it? Did you do something to celebrate?
It's like nothing to celebrate because it's not about the date it got released. It's about when we started writing, like the work starts.
Right.
So I started writing in 2000.
2000.
So that marks its 17th year.
17th year. Okay.
So nothing to be proud of. Like it's just a journey.
You don't think there's anything to, like an anniversary, something significant or important?
Now strike me.
In all these years, 15, okay, 17 years, there's so much that's changed, right? What do you identify as the most important things that's changed around you in terms of the business you're in? For one thing, Twitter wasn't there when you began.
No, it's not about social media at all.
Okay.
It's about saw the whole. I mean, a lot of change in people's attitude of working.
Okay.
I mean, the people where I work with, or generally the atmosphere, it's changed a lot, quite a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like-
I don't know what brought the change, whether the digital era or I don't know.
But when you say change, what do you mean?
I don't know. When we started, like we used to work, I mean, with passion. Now people take it as just as work. There's a huge difference between doing something with passion
Right.
or just doing it as just as a job.
Okay. Okay. And you see more of that now.
I only see that.
You only see that now. Have you seen any changes in yourself in these 17 years? I mean, are you calmer, more hot-headed? Are you, more idealistic, less idealistic? Or are you just still the same Selvaraghavan?
Oh, it changed a lot. Change is inevitable. Like to put it in simpler words, like the same thing which I answered. I mean, for previous question, the same thing applied to me also. It used to be one of my passions.
Right.
Now, this is the only passion which remains. Everything else died around me. So I think that's a remarkable change for a filmmaker. And I think that 2 year break, which really helped me because a filmmaker needs to take some time off.
Right.
Like that really helped me. Yeah, when I used to work, when I was composing shots or when I used to write or doing all those film related work, yeah, I used to do it with a lot of passion and energy and interest and everything.
Right.
But now, that's the only thing remains. Everything else, you get, kind of allergic reaction or jittery or, you just don't want to do anything else except either you have to be on the set doing something related to film work, writing or whatever it is, or life seems to be meaningless.
Okay. And you weren't like this before?
No, I wasn't like this before.
Okay.
That's why I say the same rule applies to me also.
Right. Right. One thing that's changed now is that you now live in Besanagar, which your hero of Pudhupettai would not like because he said, "Yenge area ulla varade." He classifies the different parts of town. Do you ever think about that?
People make different kind of films. Doesn't matter where I live. Like
Okay.
I can live in Luxembourg and still make a movie about North Chennai. So
Okay.
there's nothing related about where do you live.
Okay. Okay. What do you think has been your contribution or your stamp? What I mean is, like when different people talk about, they say, "Oh, in the padata pata Selvaraghavan padam mari irukku." There's a certain, we talk about certain things as being very Selvaraghavan like. According to you, what is your USP, for instance?
There's nothing in it.
There's nothing.
That is why people assume there is something in it.
Okay.
So when there is emptiness, we don't take emptiness as, we don't take it for granted. We try to find something in it. I think I've been just created. There has been just been created. Like an aura has been created. Like my stamp has been created out of nothing. I just done my work. I just done movies.
So are you saying that whatever the respect or the aura that is around you is created out of, they don't, you don't deserve it, is what you're saying?
You don't do work like whether you deserve something or you don't deserve something. You do your work with your heart, what your heart says, and you do your work in a very selfish way.
Okay.
Like you do your work only for yourself. What people conceive out of it, it's up to them.
Up to them.
If I'm gonna go and look after what everybody thinks about my work, I can't be making movies.
Do you think Tulludo Ilamai set off a trend, or was it just like a one-off movie that made no difference to Tamil cinema? Do you think there has been a difference in Tamil cinema after that?
I still remember, I don't know, one of the reviews said this movie is not even worth reviewing.
Okay.
And Pudhupettai just now they celebrated 10 years later or 11 years later. And now they want Ireland too. Now people are saying Photographer's Day is Mayakkam Enna. So I don't know what's happening around me. It's little very disorienting for any filmmaker. Like, okay, what's happening? Like once if you are disoriented, if you don't get into your brain, better leave it alone.
Your earlier films, at the time of release, were better received than your later ones. They did not have established stars. Even Dhanush was a newcomer in Kaadhal Kondain and Thullu Thailam, whereas by the time of Mayakkam Enna, he had become a star. Do you think your subjects work better with actors who don't come with star baggage?
I don't see an actor. When I enter my set, I don't see an actor outside. Just when you open the door, I don't see the actor. I see only my characters. Like
Okay.
maybe it's like method acting. Maybe there are method directors. Like I don't see anybody like who might be you are like whatever it is. So just see my characters. Like without that, I can't tell them like those subtle reactions, like how to get it like
Right.
because you can't just simply and just do it or act it like
Right.
there are very sublime and subtle and beautiful smallest expressions which an actor can bring it to life, like those. I think some actors are gifted, they invented themselves,
Right.
but sometimes a director has to be aware that
Right.
it should be told.
What I'm also asking is, do you think your films work better
Yeah,
with
in the earlier stages.
with actors rather than with stars? Sometimes when you write for an established star, you may have to be conscious that there are certain things that you have to do to maybe satisfy a fan or something like that. Do you ever think like that, or do you just say, I don't care how big a star someone is, I'm just going to write
No, I
my
need to know who I'm working with,
right,
whether he's a star or no star. I need to have, I need to be very sure about who I'm working with,
right,
the leading lady and the leading actor, the hero. Then a lot of things change.
right,
You can't write something else and then force it on someone else.
right, right,
So obviously, but apart from it, it doesn't matter whether you're working with a big star or a newcomer, because as long as when the audience watch the movie, if they remember the star, then it's we all lose.
yeah.
If they remember his character and they travel with him, then we all win.
Right. A long time back, when during a chat session, when you were asked if you had a chance to change just one scene in Kaadhal Kondain, what would you change? And your answer was that you'd change the second half of the film. Can you explain that? Do you remember that?
First, I don't remember,
Okay.
and that was a wild horse that time, and now it's been tamed.
Okay.
So I'm a grown-up man now,
Okay.
so I don't remember exactly why I said that. Like,
Okay, but when you look back at your older films, do you feel that there are things that you would like to change in them, or you just let them be?
I make movies out of my instincts, like so I just let them be.
Okay. So, like for instance, if you see My Enna today, do you look back and say, oh, maybe I should have done this differently, or maybe I should have done
See,
that?
that's a very, very big question because I was never happy with any of my movies.
Right from the beginning?
Yes,
Okay.
from the day one I started my shooting Tulodalmai. Till Nenjam Marapadillai. I was never happy. There is always something better could have been done. The shots could have been placed a lot better, and the performance could have been a lot better. And those are the regrets you have to live with your life
Okay.
when you make movies.
So with all your films, like for instance in let's say Mayakkam Enna, what do you think some of your regrets are?
My only regret was because a husband winning an award and a wife cries. And someone came to me and asked, is it beautiful mind? Oh, so
Oh,
no husband should win an award and no wife should cry. Okay. So I said, I didn't see any logic in it.
right.
It happened quite few times. In Kaadhal Kondain, someone came and asked me, so the hero took her into the forest. So is it Guna? Oh, so nobody should take the girlfriend or someone like her, kidnap someone into the forest. Okay, it's confusing.
Okay. The reactions you're talking
Yeah,
about.
reactions I was talking about, and right out of the show, I was thinking, okay, so maybe year after I should, no husband should win any award, and no wife should cry for him.
What about Irandam Ulagam?
The script was how it's been written, but I learned the biggest lesson of my life, how Indian industry. I have to talk about Indian film industry because there are a lot of the complete Indian technicians involved. So we can't take only our industry.
Okay, okay.
So there are too many people involved. When I was not happy with so much of result, and when I had to, a filmmaker had to go through the ordeal of like explaining a VFX sequence to 15 VFX supervisors, time and again, and deadlines are approaching, and the pressure the producer is going through, you know about it. Like we're all going through so much of pressure. And when I asked this question, like, aren't you people are professionals? Why I have to do a Skype? When I came to Bombay, I explained why. There are no answers. No, please, can you do one more time? So I had to do it countless times. Still, I took it, and finally, the enlightenment came when I don't want to name anyone. When I asked the kind of budget we give, and is that what we get? And the answer, I think, explains the plight of our industry today. He answered me saying, see, what you expect is international, you know, standards. I mean, he used a different word. You're asking for an olive oil, but we can only give you, you know, street oil. I said, what do you mean? But you work in Hollywood films, you work in ads, everything. No, there are priorities. Like South Indian film, it isn't like an eye opener, you know,
You mean they prioritized your film less because it was a Tamil film?
lot lesser.
Oh, compared to the other productions they were working on.
Yes,
Okay,
lot lesser.
okay, okay. So would that mean that if you, went after such a project again that involved some complicated effects, would you choose a more local team? Is that what you're?
Those were different times. I mean that's the time we are all like, I mean, realizing more about VFX and
Right.
everything. Like these days, it's become much more easier. But that question, that answer, is still haunting me.
Wow. Okay, okay. In your interviews, you come across as a very intense and emotional person, and you recently talked about your depression also. Is it hard for someone like you to, someone with this kind of a personality, to be in an industry that cares a lot more about the box office than about the art aspect itself?
So I was like a mouse trapped in both sides. You know, I have to make money also. Same time, I have to balance it somehow also. Otherwise, you can't survive.
Right.
So it's like either I would have made the choice 17 years before. I should have, when I was roaming around Juhu Beach, like looking to become an independent filmmaker, I should have chosen that path, and gone that side.
Become an independent filmmaker.
Yeah, that's what I always wanted to be.
Okay.
So that is why I lived in Bombay for a year and knocking every single production house and talking to a lot of people, like-minded people and all those stuff. Then this opportunity came, and one thing I learned in my life is these days the opportunities never come. Something might look like you have to just go on you all for and just grab it. So I just grabbed it. That decision proved to be right because that is the movie called Tulu Element.
Okay.
Or I would have been still roaming around,
Juhu Beach.
God knows,
Okay.
because that was another tough journey. Like it's not easy to become an independent filmmaker. Also,
Right.
there is an absolutely the money part. So I don't know. Like I have to satisfy the art side in me, at least. I mean, a part of it. Same time, I have to make a lot of money
Right.
because my fans or audience come to see what he has done.
Right.
So I just trapped.
With this emotional state, it's something that you've learned to live with it. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, a long time ago, I made peace with myself.
Okay.
Okay, this is your fate, this is your fate. Maybe time will come where you have enough money on yourself. Or time is right now, right there in front of us.
Okay.
Now, I can produce movies,
Okay.
what I want to
Right.
make, where I keep bringing in money.
Okay.
And I think that suits the purpose.
Okay. In these 17 years, uh, the number of films you've made is almost as much as the number of films that were announced and for some reason shelved or dropped, or you started a bit and then went off. I'd like to ask about some of these films. Let's begin with this gangster film that you were supposed to do with Ajith, which was called Kasimede. What happened to that?
See, it is just because you meet someone and talk about a project, it will materialize. It would
Okay.
happen.
Okay.
So that is what happened with Ajit sir. It never materialized.
Okay.
Like it's never gone far. Like we've been talking, and just then we just chosen their own path. Like
Okay.
so, still today I have absolutely no problems with any hero I worked with,
Right.
including Kamal sir. I have absolutely no problems.
No, no, no. Not about problem, but
No,
I'm just
I'm
talking.
talking
Yeah,
about the
right.
movies
Yeah.
which is being announced. Like, see, when we go to the floors and start filming it, then if we drop it,
Okay.
then it's called the movie is being shelved.
Okay.
During this, it's got people have to really understand. It goes through a lot of stages,
Right.
lot of stages, lot of discussions, lot of and everybody has to come in one boat. There should be only one captain.
Right.
Everybody has a hand in their steering. It goes nowhere.
Yeah.
So everything sets in one place, and we take a particular course, and we all go in the right direction. And when we start filming, and then it's official. But before that, something happens. It goes wrong. It might go wrong for a lot and lot of
Right,
reasons.
right.
Like people don't realize that. So they think immediately they put the blame on okay, they fought.
Okay.
They fought. No, it is not. It is a creative process where everybody has to be in sync.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, I should be James Cameron, like bringing in, I should be the box office king. Then there's no problem.
So all these films with Ajith, with Vijay, with Simbu, they were all only in the discussion stages. You hadn't had a script.
Ajit and Vijay sir, we both we had meetings. Like,
Okay.
tomorrow I might work with them.
Okay.
So we met.
So you didn't have a script ready or anything
No,
like
we have. I don't work like people think I don't work without a script. I
Okay.
have always worked with bounded script.
that. Right, right.
So, but it goes through stages, like, because they also have their image factors, a huge fan following.
Right.
They need a lot to think about, and there is a big process actually. Coming to Chimbu, it is like purposely being the industry is not the same industry which I used to work a few years back. Nowadays, like, you don't know where the knife is coming from.
Wow.
So we started filming and everything going well. Chimbu was like, we're all having good time and everything is happening. And for no reason, the producer backed out. So we didn't know. We don't have that kind of money power, me or Chimbu, to take it forward,
Right.
anything, and whom to blame for. Like, We can only work, do our jobs.
Right.
So we can't take blame all the time for somebody else's fault. Right?
What about the film with Kamal Hassan, which you were supposed to do, Vishwarupam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, with Kamal sir, it's uh, it's purely creative differences.
Right.
It is that one film, yes. And as I said again, it was still in discussion stages.
Right.
We had discussions, like we are going through the script, like everything, and I have my own vision, and he has his own vision.
Right.
Someone has to respect somebody else's vision and just let go of it. So I respected his vision, and we just parted ways peacefully.
Okay. Okay. Everybody dreams of making a movie with Rajnikant and Tamil cinema. Do you also have a dream like that?
No, my dreams are always nightmares.
Okay.
So I don't dream about working with anyone. Like,
Okay.
If you ask me, if you whom you want to, I mean, my dream to work with, like, how do you say it, is dead. Like Marlon Brando.
Okay.
A lot of people who I dream to work with, like Shivaji sir. Like, if he was alive today, think about a movie like, what, at Dawn coming, what a changeover it would have been, and
Right.
what, I mean, legendary actor like that would have done. Like, so there are no dreams left anymore. Like, what comes in our way, we just take it. Like,
So all these ideas, these scripts that you've discussed with other people, and supposing for whatever reason, creative differences, whatever it doesn't get made, do you rework them? What do you do with those discarded ideas or scripts or whatever? It just stays in the vault, locked up.
no, it never stays in the vault. Like, we just, it is a gain for us.
Okay.
We gained a script, one more script. I'm not going to run away anywhere.
Okay.
I'll make it one day.
Okay. Do you have a favorite among your films?
Yes,
Which
Nenja Marapadilla.
Nenja Marapadille. Okay. And do you have a film that you think is your most underrated?
I think all of them.
All of them? You've gotten good praise for a lot of your films.
See, it is about how I see them.
Okay.
No,
Are you
underrated by me.
underrated by you?
I don't know what audience think about them. Like, underrated by me. Like, yeah, these are the places. It's good. What's wrong with that?
Okay, okay.
Why people didn't notice? Oh, there is a subtle message there. Why people didn't notice? A lot of instances like this. And out of his mediocre scene, why people clap here? So it's a confusing.
Okay. When you look back on your journey, are you where you wanted to be?
No, I'm content. I've been always a very content man. As I said, the very purpose I started with. So the first step was wrong.
Okay,
So now I have to earn enough money, more money,
okay.
give more hits to be in a position to start producing or making independent films the way exactly I see, and make.
Okay,
So the journey is going to be a little bit more longer.
wonderful. All the best for the journey.
Thank you.
Thanks.
If you really like what you saw, please do subscribe to Film Companion.